Back at the echocardiogram machine. I'm getting my second one here after how many Herceptins have I had? 3, I guess. So they're gonna check my heart. We are sitting here waiting for me to pick up a prescription. This is metformin that I take. And I had the echocardiogram. That seemed to go fine. I was chatting with that lady for a long time. And then I'm getting now a referral to Stanford and yeah, to Stanford and to UCSD. Oh, there was the burp. Got my girl. So it looks like for reconstruction surgery, yeah, give me a second, I'll get a referral to UC San Diego and to Stanford. They can't have more than 2 referrals at a time. I asked for one to Davis, but I can only do 2, so that's what's up next. One of the things that's hard about getting a cancer diagnosis is that after that, every little feeling or ache or pain, it's hard not to think, is that cancer? And I'm getting a little bit of a actual pain in my throat right here. And I'm like, is that throat cancer? Ah! Or what is it? I've never had it. Like if I stretch, actually that hurts. It's weird. I'm used to like being able to put my head way back. So I can't tell what that is, but I guess I'll have to mention that to the doctor next time I go in. I don't know if they can ultrasound my neck. I'm going to look at the PET CT scan and see if anything showed up on there, if it is showing any response when I had that scan. And then I'm having a vaginal ultrasound next, I think in a week and a half, for my ovaries, because I have been getting this kind of shooting pain around the kidney ovary area. So that'll be good for me to do that. It's hard. It's like one thing I'm noticing is that, well, I noticed this when I became a parent too. Before a person becomes a parent, we think we know everything about parenting and have all these opinions and ideas, and then we get there and we're usually surprised that it's not as easy as we thought it would be or like that. And getting a cancer diagnosis is the same. I don't think a person ever knows what they'll do until they're in the situation. It's really easy to think you know what you're going to do and how it's going to go and how you're going to be. And then you get there and realize, wow, it's very different from inside the shoes of the cancer person wearing the cancer person's shoes. So yeah, it's, for the most part, I think I don't have a lot of people saying, well, you should do this or you should do that. I did it first, and there were a couple of people I needed to say, don't do that. It doesn't help. And sometimes I've actually asked for people's opinions, like, well, what would you do in this situation? Because that can be helpful. But anyway, I'm really noticing that. I mean, especially with getting a mastectomy and getting a double mastectomy and breast reconstruction. I'm still kind of digesting that one. I'm heading in that direction, and I'm going to talk to another surgeon and plastic surgeon whenever the referral comes through for Stanford and UCSD. I'd rather do the Stanford one because that's only 4 hours, and UCSD is 10 hours drive away from here, but an hour plane ride, hour and a half. And I feel embarrassed, actually. I feel embarrassed by that choice, like, because I know for myself I felt judgmental about augmented breast. I felt like, why not just appreciate what you have? And why do we need to go around plasticizing ourselves and doing these things like that? We should more be trying to cultivate a culture where we feel good about who we are and what we have and taking care of what we have instead of trying to change it. So I felt pretty strongly about that. I mean, as I've gotten older, I've given up a lot more of my judgment of people can choose whatever they want, and what's best for somebody might not be best for somebody else, and we all get to decide. We don't get to decide for each other, but we do get to decide for ourselves, and I have respect for that. So, but I do notice there's a little bit of that feeling creeping up in me where I'm like, wow, I'm going to be one of these people with fake implant breasts, and people won't know why I have them. They'll think like, oh, she wasn't happy with herself, or she didn't feel good about who she was, so she needed to do that, or whatever thoughts I've had myself. I'm sure other people have that thoughts, because I think that we're judgmental by nature as humans. We just naturally judge and discriminate what's in front of us. So it doesn't really matter. I mean, now it's a matter of, I know what's happening, and I know what I'm happy with, and I feel good about myself. But I do see that the full disclosure is that there are times where I think like, oh yeah, somebody won't know. Like there's a few people that I see around where I live, and I think, oh, they look like they've had a breast job, breast augmentation, and I really don't know their story. I never ask them why or how or anything about it. So, if somebody wants to ask, they can, and some people will know. So I'll be making a public announcement to the people in my life once I have that done. Like, here's my boobs. Yes, they're fake, and I had cancer, and here you go. And I don't know if I'll really do that, but I I like to state the obvious, and I like to tell on myself so that people don't have to wonder and talk or whatever. Just say what it is, and then there's no question about it. So anyway, that's my little rant for this morning.